dimensions. In a city famous for building toward the heavens, Shanghai's most ambitious project, Clouds, does.
This is a scar on the landscape of Sheshan Mountain, an abandoned pit left by decades.
Where others saw a ruin, one team of visionary architects saw a canvas. Their goal, to turn
on them. It is a $300 million gamble against gravity. A five-star hotel that challenges the very definition.
For half a century, this site was stripped of its stone to build the city of Shanghai. But when the mine...
Over time, the quarry became a nature's scar, a dangerous, unstable pit that many believed was impossible to build upon. Architect Martin Jacquemin envisioned a building that would exist in harmony with the terrain, following the natural curve of the cliff rather than fighting it.
The design is a masterpiece of verticality. 18 floors in total, with the majority of the rooms clinging to the...
Global engineers were skeptical. How do you stabilize a crumbling cliff? How do you move thousands of tons of concrete into a hole 90 meters deep?
Places. They called it the eighth wonder of the world, a five-star sanctuary born from a wasteland, proving that
is the story of how a scar was healed and how a hole in the ground became a landmark of human ingenuity.
But before the luxury could arrive, the engineers first had to battle the very mountain itself.
The first hurdle was the rock. The quarry walls were made of weathered basalt, unpredictable, fractured, and prone to massive landslides.
Decades of mining and exposure to the elements had left the rock face unstable. Building a heavy...
Hundreds of boreholes were drilled to map the hidden cracks. Engineers needed to know exactly which parts of the mountain could hold the weight, and which would collapse.
The cliff had to be cleaned. Through controlled blasting and manual scaling, thousands of tons of loose debris were removed to reach the solid foundation beneath.
Plus, it was a dangerous, painstaking process. Every square inch of the cliff had to be inspected and stabilized.
Precision was non-negotiable. Because the building would be attached to the rock, the measurements had to be accurate down to the millimeter.
With the survey complete, the team faced their next nightmare. How do you get thousands of tons of equipment into a hole with no roads?
Logistics became the team's daily nightmare. In a vertical construction site, every nail and every ton of...
Traditional cranes weren't enough. Engineers had to anchor massive lifting systems to the rim, capable of lowering...
To move thousands of workers and materials, they built a specialized vertical transport system, an elevator pinned directly to the basalt cliff.
Every piece of heavy equipment had to be disassembled, lowered by cable, and reassembled at the bottom. It was a levels. They even installed a cliffside railway. This temporary track became the pulse of the project, ensuring a constant...
Communication was vital. Below ground level, standard signals failed, requiring a custom fiber optic network just so the crew at the bottom could talk to the rim. Weather was an unpredictable enemy. Rain turned the vertical site into a slippery, mud-filled trap, forcing logistics to pause for safety.
To stay on schedule, the site never slept. The quarry became a glowing factory of lights.
Over 50,000 tons of materials would eventually be lowered into this hole. The sheer scale of the move was an engineering feat in its own right.
But moving the materials was only half the battle. Now, they had to make the mountain hold the building.
To prevent the cliff from collapsing, engineers used a technique called rock anchoring. They planned to stitch the building. Each of these anchors had to be drilled 35 meters deep into the heart of the mountain. That's over 100 feet of solid rock for every single support point.
These aren't just bolts. These are high-tension steel tendons, designed to create a permanent, unbreakable bond between the concrete and the basalt.
High-pressure grout was pumped into the shafts, locking the anchors in place. Once set, these 99 stitches could hold the weight of an entire skyscraper.
But 99 anchors were just the start. They added more than 6,500 additional reinforcement bars to...
This was extreme gardening on a massive scale. Workers spent months hanging over the abyss, manually
A layer of high-strength shotcrete was applied, turning the crumbling basalt into a solid, engineered foundation that could resist erosion for centuries.
Every anchor was tested to its limits, They had to ensure that the mountain wouldn't just hold the building, but would actively pull back against the forces of gravity.
The cliff was no longer a threat. It was now a structural partner. The mountain had been transformed. With the cliff stabilized, the team faced the most difficult pour in history. They had to get concrete to the bottom without destroying it.
Now came the ultimate test of gravity. 50,000 cubic meters of concrete needed to be transported from the surface to the bottom of the 90-meter pit.
Standard pouring was impossible. A direct 90-meter drop would cause segregation. The heavy stones would surround with some
Excellencies layer. Tradition will be ripped apart by the internal friction.
persons. The solution was a world first, a vertical damping system. Instead of a straight drop, engineers designed a...
They broke the fall into stages. Every 15 meters, the concrete entered a buffer station that reset its speed.
The spiral design used centrifugal force to hug the pipe walls, creating a smooth, controlled descent rather than a violent freefall.
This wasn't just a pour, it was a 90-meter mechanical waterfall. It was the first time in history that high-strength concrete had been delivered.
At bottom, the concrete arrived in perfect condition. The damping system worked flawlessly, allowing for a continuous 24-hour pouring cycle.
Every batch was tested. The density and strength had to be perfect, as this concrete would form the backbone of a structure literally hanging off a mountain.
With the foundation set, the skeleton of the hotel began to rise. But in a region prone to earthquakes, Shanghai sits near active fault lines. For a building attached to a rigid rock face, a major earthquake could be a death sentence.
If the building was too stiff, the vibrations from the basalt rock would tear the steel apart.
Engineers introduced a revolutionary sliding design. The building's steel frame is connected to the cliff using hundreds of these sliding joints.
In an earthquake, the mountain and the building move at different frequencies. These joints allow the hotel to slide up to...
The hotel is built like a massive, flexible machine. It's designed to survive a magnitude 7.0 quake.
Even the glass atrium is decoupled. Each major section of the hotel can move slightly on its own.
A network of hundreds of seismic sensors constantly listens to the mountain. If the earth moves, the building knows exactly how to react.
This is living architecture. By embracing flexibility over rigidity, the intercontinental wonder...
The mountain and the hotel are now one, joined by engineering that respects the power of the earth. But while the upper floors battle the wind and earthquakes, the bottom of the hotel faces a completely different world.
While the upper floors cling to the cliff, the heart of the hotel lies beneath the waves. The bottom two levels are completely submerged in a man-made lagoon.
Building underwater meant battling massive hydrostatic pressure. Every square inch of the submerged structure has to hold turbulence. The windows aren't glass, they are high-tech acrylic. At 15 centimeters thick and weighing nearly 2 tons each, the seal must be absolute. Engineers used multi-layered chemical resins to ensure that not a single drop of water...
This is a living aquarium. Beyond the glass, a thriving ecosystem has been created, allowing guests...
In these underwater suites, the boundary between architecture and nature disappears. It is a world of total...
The underwater restaurant is a technical masterpiece. It requires constant climate control to manage the humidity and
cleansed for hydration. Maintaining the lake is a massive task. An industrialism works 24/7 to ensure...
From the bottom of the lake, the scale of the achievement is overwhelming. You are standing in what was once...
But being at the bottom of a 90-meter hole presents a terrifying danger. What happens when it rains? In the event of a heavy storm or a typhoon, the quarry acts as a giant funnel. Without a way to escape, the hotel would...
balance. Smart sensors monitor the water level every second. If the lake rises just a few centimeters above the safety limit,
every entry point is protected. The hotel is designed like a fortress, with watertight barriers that can...
4 dedicated fire elevators and pressurized stairwells ensure a safe upward evacuation.
Even a total power grid failure won't stop the pumps. Massive backup generators sit at the rim.
Safety is a culture here. Regular drills prepare the staff for reverse evacuation, ensuring that
through lenses. The building is alive with data. It feels the pressure of the water and hears the movement of the mountain. The Intercontinental Wonderland isn't just a hotel. It's one of the safest structures ever built.
The soul of the hotel is its central atrium. Designed as a glass waterfall, this transparent
This architectural centerpiece is a marvel of precision. Each glass panel was laser cut to fit the...
Looking down from the rim, the scale is breathtaking. The glass waterfall creates a... 3 panoramic elevators serve as the hotel's heartbeat as they descend 90 meters.
At night, the structure comes alive. Digital lighting transforms the glass into a dynamic...
Flanking the glass atrium are the guest wings. These curving structures follow the natural arc of the mountains. Every room features a private balcony carved into the vertical space. Here, luxury meets...
The interior design is a study in contrasts. The softness of 5-star luxury is juxtaposed...
For the ultimate experience, the underwater duplexes offer a dual-world luxury. One floor is...
Sleeping here is a surreal experience. The gentle glow of the water replaces the moonlight, and the rhythmic moves.
The mountain is the star of the show. In the bars and lounges, the engineers left sections of the basalt rock
Dining in the Wonderland is an immersive experience. Guests can choose between panoramic views of the cliffs or a gourmet meal beneath the surface of the lake. Even the grand ballroom reflects the water theme. It is a space of light and elegance.
The infinity pool offers a unique perspective. Floating at the bottom of the 90-meter pit, guests can look up.
The quarry isn't just for looking, it's for doing. Adventure is built into the landscape, with rock climbing and extreme. On the surface, the vessel of the quarry is surrounded by beauty. Lush landscaping and vertical gardens.
The roof is an oasis. It is a green shield that insulates the building and helps it blend back into the mountain from which it was carved.
Our live sun. To complete the scene, a massive artificial waterfall was built on the opposite cliff. It provides a constant.
Every evening, the quarry becomes a theater. A world-class light and water show.
This is the marriage of nature and luxury. A structure that exists in the heart of the mountain.
When the doors finally opened, the world's engineering community stood in awe. What was once dismissed...
American and European experts, initially skeptical of the upside-down concept, have praised the project for its...
The Intercontinental Wonderland has claimed its place in history, winning numerous awards for innovation and proving that...
Engineers call it a ground scraper. By building downward, the project avoided the environmental costs.
Sustainability was built into the foundation. The hotel generates much of its own power and recycles water.
From the air, the building almost disappears. The green roof acts as a thermal shield, keeping the hotel cool and smooth.
This is more than luxury. It is ecological healing. A site that was once a source of dust and pollution for...
Nature is returning. The quiet, protected environment of the quarry has created a microclimate where local flora and fauna can once again flourish.
It stands as a blueprint for the future of urban development. As our cities run out of space, we must...
This project has inspired a new generation of designers to think beyond the vertical, to see potential in every...
The mountain, once exploited for its stone, has been given its dignity back. It is no longer an empty hole.
Every day, a team of hundreds works to maintain this miracle. It is a constant battle against the... The hotel is a machine that never stops. It breathes, it pumps, and it sways. A living.
For the guests, it is a place of profound peace. To be 90 meters underground, yet surrounded.
12 years of planning, 6 years of construction, thousands of workers, one impossible dream.
The Intercontinental Shanghai Wonderland. A name that perfectly captures the magic of a place that shouldn't exist. From the depths of the abyss to the peaks of the Sheshan Mountains, the scale of this project reminds us that human ambition has no limits.
It is a temple of light and stone, a place where the industrial past and the high-tech future.
In a world of identical glass towers, the Wonderland stands alone. It is a unique response to
the sound of falling water is the constant soundtrack here, a reminder of the element that was once a threat, but is now the soul of the hotel.
Precision, courage, and imagination. These were the tools used to heal this mountain.
It is a mirror of our potential, a reminder that even in the deepest holes, we can build something that reaches for the light.
For the next generation, this won't be an engineering miracle. It will be a playground.
A place is China's gift to the world of architecture, a vision of how we can reclaim our industrial waste and turn it into global treasure.
An architect's dream, an engineer's challenge, and now, the world's most astonishing sanctuary.
The ripples of this achievement will be felt for decades to come, changing how we build on this planet forever.
The scar has been healed. The mountain is whole again. And in its
From a barren mine to the 8th wonder of the world, engineering has never looked so beautiful.